Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the desert Southwest, Glendale, Arizona, and State Farm Stadium. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the New York Giants and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a first down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Young. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, Young. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, I got you, 3. We got this, fellas. Come on.
Young working out of the gun. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted number 1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now we've got a giant player here, slow to get up after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I don't think you got it, son.
Johnson. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week, but you know you can't. So you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
This one away by the punter, Dar. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? Hey, boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We've got to create them. Get so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in that meeting. Yeah. But they like you. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Looking to throw, Young. And Ingram holds it in. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So the loss of a yard, and now 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
From the shotgun, it's Young. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now here's Young. Well, this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Young from the shotgun. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Breaks a tackle. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Young. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
This quarterback now 8 of 8 throwing the ball in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Sony Michel, his first carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Young. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Young now, operating from the gun. It's caught, Humphries. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrick Rosas. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Murray going to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. A look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
We had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what was fun to me was hear him say, I like what we did, but we need more pressure on the quarterback this week. What he wouldn't tell us, though, was how he was going to create it. Is it going to be just the front 4? Is it going to be 3? Is he going to bring linebackers, secondary? This will be fun to check out.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Murray. And he finds his man, that's Butler. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run it with Johnson. And an alley to run. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Cliff Kingsbury here on 4th down, trots out the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The Giants on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
This quarterback now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now it's Barkley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. To throw is Young. From the gun, he'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Young finds his tight end Ingram.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Young. He finds Humphreys. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. 1st and 10 at the 19. They'll throw again. Young. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The toss out to Barkley. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Young operating from the gun. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Adam Humphreys there to make the grab. And the Giants have taken the lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their deep.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's right. Get off the train tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. And he's going to go down again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Here's Matt Darr now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at about the 28. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And now out come the Giants. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Let's go, defense.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Young. And his pass incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. He had 5 catches in the wild card win, and that's his 5th here, and it's good for a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
It's Young on 1st down. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Second and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. To the air once more, Young. That's out to his running back, Michel. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Giants on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the red zone now, Young. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. And they will run it with Michelle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Young from the gun, he'll throw. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Christian KIRK and company heading back onto the field. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Murray, he's used to moving fast in Oklahoma. He'll get his guys up to the line. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball, just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This 4th and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC divisional round game. And it's the Chicago Bears who are moving on as they were able to knock out the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Another try after the first down sack. Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play fake. Murray. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 43. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here?
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Open man is KIRK, complete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a first down as well. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 9-yard touchdown run. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter.
Check, 43. All day.
Now a first down throw for Young. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Michel. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's go now. Let's get it. Hey, switch gears.
On 1st and 10, Young. Open man right side is Ingram. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And Young's throw there incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. It'll be Young again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. REDDICK in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now this is fielded in the end zone, so possession goes over here on the punt. The Cardinals will take over at their 20-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 27, Murray nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On play action, Young. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Cards going nickel, an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Young working out of the gun. He gets it to Humphreys. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They are down by a single possession here, 16-9, as they come up 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They begin the drive with Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
To throw on 3rd down, Murray. He's got his man. It's Butler. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Murray. That's complete to Butler. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 20-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. That's going to be caught by KIRK for a Cardinals touchdown. Christian KIRK there to make the grab as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. Now this offense about ready to take over again. When you talk to these guys in training camp, these are the moments they say they live for. You're in a playoff game. It's tied 4th quarter. Time for somebody to step up.
And can you execute under pressure? Because the pressure is intense right now. No one wants to be responsible for making the error that costs their team, but at the same time, who's going to be responsible for making the play that gives the advantage to your team? Who's going to break out, just what you said? He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And it's Michel once again. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Young from the shotgun. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
On 1st down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 38, Murray. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Murray now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Robinson, and he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard. The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They need just a yard here. It's third and he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. Point after try forthcoming. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw by Young incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Young to throw again. Looking sideline, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Young. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
It's taken to the 26. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And able to find KIRK, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 24 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 43. On the ground, this is Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. They go to Johnson again. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Giants now down by 7, and time a huge factor. This is where your playoff mettle is tested on the road, needing a touchdown to stay alive as they've got it 1st and 10. A pass there over the middle to start things out. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. So left side, it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Young. It's hauled in by Shepard. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. He's back to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. Young now, throwing on 4th down. He finds Humphreys. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.